Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk CFL podcast, episode number 623. I'm your host, Christopher Jones, coming to you from Merritt, British Columbia. Welcome to the show, and thank you for hanging out. We have some big things to talk about. We had 4 exciting games in the past week, and we have Knucklebrain in Toronto that has come down and given us a whole pile of rule changes for our league. And that's something that I'm going to talk about. We're all going to talk about. And I am just sick and tired of the bullshit from Toronto. My entire life, I have been fucking dictated to by what happens in Toronto, and it makes me sick. Whether it's business, banking, stocks, I don't care. Toronto's not the center of the universe, and it's not the capital of Canada. So I'm really getting tired of it. But there's not much we can do about it. Okay. So what did happen? We had our new commissioner, Stuart Johnston, who has only been in since after January. So it's not even been a full year yet. Actually, I think it was like closer to April or something. He became the commissioner. And what did he say? He said, "Oh, we're going to fix the website. We're going to fix the stats, and we're going to fix. We're going to be a lot more transparent, and we're just going to improve everything for the fans." And what the fuck does he do? He comes out and destroys our football game by changing a whole pile of rules, including field size, goalpost. He destroyed the Rouge. He didn't do anything that he said he was going to do. And then he went off and fucked the game over. Okay. And I'm not going to hold back today. And I'm going to introduce the panel, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to go through the games because I got to settle down again. But we'll see what happens, and we'll go with it from there. And we're going to go over each of these rule changes and find out what's going on. But since he came on as commissioner, something deep down in my soul said there was something the matter with this guy. He was too clean, too pristine, too much anything to be a CFL commissioner. He said he absolutely loved the game. He's followed it all his life growing up. He's very passionate about it. And then he goes and fucks it over in the first 6 months. Okay. That's not somebody who loves this football game. If it's something you love the football game, you try to make it better. You don't start detracting from it. Okay. Personally, I think he's a plant. I think he came in here. TSN said they're the biggest sponsor, $50 million a year. They basically control everything. They made us put football games on Thursday night, which is fucking stupid. And so TSN controls the strings with this. I don't think that the owners, board of governors, board of directors, whatever you want to call them, had even a say as to whether this guy was going to be commissioner. I think it was a coup. TSN will... Rick, I saw that. You stopped that shit during my rant, okay? No tongue out of the mouth, okay? That's bad. Okay, so TSN, MLSE are conspiring to destroy our football league. My opinion, we're going to get to all that in the future. Right now, I'm going to introduce the panel, and we'll go from there. First up, William McDonald. How you doing, buddy?
I am really good. I didn't enjoy the football games last weekend, especially the one in Calgary.
I forgot all about them. I don't even know what they are.
It really sucked badly.
I thought it was a pretty good game, actually.
Well, I know how Calgary felt when they went into Regina and when they beat Saskatchewan in Calgary. Okay, I had that same feeling that day. It was like, and that's all I could say. Yeah. I also discovered, and I've said this in the past year or two about Vernon Adams. There was something about Vernon Adams that I've never really liked, and I've always said that he's never won the big one. And I think with Vernon Adams, I think he lacks character. That's what I think his problem is. He lacks character.
And I said that to you before, is that whenever he gets behind or gets in a position where he can't deal with, he collapses. He folds up like a cheap tent from Canadian Tire.
Well, and, he got hit in the back and they said he was out because his back was sore. And I'm like, I can think of a handful of quarterbacks who would have just shaken it off and went back and played.
Like
in my mind. Well, Buck Pierce, he had a concussion his whole career from one hit. But
He said
No,
several of them.
Mike Riley would have wandered back in there. There's a whole bunch of guys who would have went back in there. Vernon and even Dave Dickinson said afterwards. He said, "I thought Vernon Adams would go back in, but I guess he had a back injury." So
William,
yes,
okay, hang on. We're going to talk about the games in a bit. I'm introducing the panel right now. You're
okay.
just supposed to say hi and how you are and everything else. And you're not allowed to character
Well,
assassinate a
I
quarterback
know
in the
that.
first
I
30
understand
seconds,
that,
okay?
but you've been hogging up my airtime for many days now on our chat room. So what can I say? Go ahead.
You just have to
Go
speak up.
ahead. Go ahead.
You went off. You went on vacation yesterday when we were all going at it. You just sat back and laughed.
Well, it was pretty funny. I have to
Okay.
admit.
Anyhow,
Go
like to
ahead.
introduce his brother Rick down in the bottom. Actually, I don't know where he is. These boxes move around all the time.
He's in the bottom.
Rick McDonald, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm happy to be back, but I was also happy to be away. Spent a week in Alaska, a week in Whistler, and now I'm back to business. Looking forward to some more football.
How do you spend a week in Whistler? That place is fucking boring.
No, it's not. It's heaven.
If you don't have skis on, there's literally nothing much to do. You walk around the village, you see all the tourist shops, you don't buy anything because it's ridiculously expensive, and then it's time to go home.
Ricky's got lots of camera equipment.
It's a place where you can go, you park your car and you spend a week and you don't have to get in your car. You can go to a bar, a restaurant, you can go up the mountain, you can go to the lake, you can golf. You can do all kinds of things in Whistler. But you don't have to get in your car and drive anywhere.
No, but you need a mortgage to do it.
Yeah.
I don't stay in hostels. Anyhow.
Nor do I. Nor do I.
From Portland, Oregon, Michael Dennis. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. It was a rough weekend, but I'm doing great. My house is completed, so I'm on top of the world.
I told you I got a door today, eh? That's pretty exciting. Anyhow, I'll even send you a picture. Okay. Good to see you, Mike. And last, we got a new guy on the panel, Scott. I'm not even going to pronounce your last name. Morledge?
You did it right the first time, Morledge, yeah.
Morledge, okay. Scott Morledge, he's from Regina, and we're not going to hold that against him right away. Well, maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see. He's wearing fucking green.
To an extent.
I got Carhartts on tonight. Okay.
What does Regina rhyme with?
Everything's fine.
Rick, do you even know where the name came from?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Anyways, yes, I'm doing great.
Be respectful to the Queen, especially the dead ones. Okay. So last week we had 4 football games, and they were fairly exciting. Some were good, some were bad.
Aren't you going to let Scott say anything? You introduced him, but he didn't say anything. Not really.
Oh, I overtalked him. I said I was great.
Okay. That's it? Okay.
He did.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Give him a chance to work in here, guys.
Tell us something about me.
Yeah.
Scott, do you want to say anything else?
No, we're good for now.
See?
He's a Rough Rider fan.
I have a feeling I'll be having a lot to say.
Do you need me to read back the message today about my show?
I'll be quiet.
Don't worry, I'll make sure Sparky hears enough of me.
Okay, we had 4 games this week. The first one was Friday afternoon. It was Montreal Alouettes went into Toronto. This was a interesting game. McLeod Bethel Thompson came back off the 6-game injury list to steer the Montreal Alouettes to a last-minute victory over the Argonauts. It was a very tight game, but it was, I mean, Arbuckle wasn't playing. Chad Kelly wasn't playing. Who was the quarterback in Toronto last week?
Doige. Doige. Doige.
Yeah.
Whatever you
Doige
call it.
was
I don't
there.
know how you pronounce his name.
I think it's Doggy.
It's Daggy.
Daggy?
Daggy?
I
It's
don't know. What the
Daggy.
fuck? Anyhow, he's the third stringer guy going against the second stringer guy, and it's weird. Actually, I heard Arbuckle is practicing. In fact, I think we heard that all starting quarterbacks are going to be on the field this week. All starting quarterbacks. Hasn't happened since week 1, even though Zach Claros was suspended. He was on a bye. He didn't serve his suspension till week 2. Okay, so anyhow, who wants to jump at this game and say something nice about it?
I thought it was a game in which nobody wanted to win. McLeod Bethel Thompson really was not that good. He didn't play very well. In fact, I think the coach was wanting to take him out at one point, but then brought him back in, kept him in the game against
Better judgment?
against his own judgment. I just thought it was a boring game, not very well played. Neither team really wanted to win, and there was nothing memorable about it.
I love that summation, Michael. Thank you very much. Is anybody arguing with that? Because I can't. It's exactly what that game was about.
It was a game based on field goals.
Yeah. So the final score was 21-19 for the Montreal Alouettes over the Toronto Argonauts. Everybody picked Montreal, so everybody came up with 100 points on that one. Charles got an extra 8, Willie 12, CJ 14, Rick was 6, Sparky got 10, Mikey 16, and Scott with 18. There you go. So Friday night was a Western divisional matchup between the BC Lions and the Calgary Stampeders. This was in Calgary, McMahon Stadium, and it was an amazing game. It was just absolutely awesome from beginning to end. It just, I can't say enough about how wonderful this game was. It was entertainment. It had me on the edge of the seat. It was just spectacular football. It was just, wow, go down and score, go down and score, go down and score, go down and score. And there did not seem to be a lot of opposition for our man Nathan Rourke, who just put up some hellacious numbers and showed why he's the number 1 quarterback in the CFL. And it's not really debatable now. No, I look at the stats, bro. It's not even nobody's even close.
I have one thing to say.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Nathan Rourke is the greatest Canadian quarterback I've ever seen.
That's not setting the bar real fucking high.
No, because I'm too young to know who Russ Jackson was. Sorry, because he's the last Canadian quarterback.
Very astute observation.
Completely different game.
Very astute.
He's not the last starting quarterback. There was a couple others in there. There was some guy back in '69 or something, and I don't know who it was.
Yeah, we were 7.
Because I didn't start watching until '71.
We were 7.
Was that?
We were 7, man.
Yes, I know.
No, and I will say that BC totally dominated that game from start to finish, no doubt about it. Yeah, there's nothing more to say.
So you did say he's the best quarterback, Canadian quarterback of all times, and yep. I can't dispute that. He's played two seasons. Okay, and this one's not complete yet, and he's already thrown for more yards than any other Canadian quarterback in the history of the CFL, and he is sitting at number 1 and number 3. He's only been in the league 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So hard to dispute that. He's not setting any records for the entire league.
But Willie looks at other things before he decides if someone is going to be great. And one of the things, and I'm going to say this out loud, and you don't have to agree with me or disagree with me.
Rick, stop it.
I think he has a bit of a flawed character. Just my opinion.
Oh, okay. So enlighten us.
What would you like me
Where's
to
your
enlighten
flaw?
you about?
I don't.
Well, okay,
I'm trying to
let's go
learn.
back. Let's go back to the beginning of the season
Yeah.
when they tried to interview him at halftime, and he said he wasn't going to interview at halftime because he had a game to play. Well, that disappeared right away because I guarantee you, he got his ass chewed out for that.
Well, it wasn't this season. That was back in
No,
2022.
that was this season.
Yeah,
This
he
season.
did
Was this season? This season,
Was it
CJ.
this
Sorry.
season? I thought
Yeah.
he did
Yes,
that
sir.
earlier.
No, this season.
Oh yeah, of course he got his ass chewed out. I don't disagree with what he said.
And then I was not crazy, sorry, about his rant after they made these rule changes. And the main reason was, once again, and you guys discussed it is in great length yesterday about how the boss guys don't consult the employees on anything. Not any
I don't have a
company I've
problem with
ever
that.
worked for. Okay.
I don't have a problem
And
with
I
that.
didn't like his wording about garbage. Now, if I was going to turn around and do something like that, I wouldn't have done it last week. Here's a perfect example. Last week, yourself and Mike, I do believe, mentioned to me about Ryan Dinwiddie and calling his players out in the media. Okay?
Mhm.
Yeah,
This
I don't have a problem with that.
This is no different. Yeah, you did last week.
No, I
I
have a
do.
problem with him calling them out. I don't have a problem with you bringing that up.
Right. But it's the same thing with him bringing it out in the media. I think he should have went to his boss. I'm sure Amar Doman would talk to anybody if they asked him to, especially if he's paying them $700,000 a year, and
Six
talk
and a
to him
quarter.
first, 6.25, and talk to him first. So, and I can crank it up to him being young, okay, and thinks he is that, but he's not yet, okay. And even if he does become that, I don't know, maybe he's got to put his ego somewhere else. Just saying. That's all.
I don't think it was the content of it was not the content of the information that bothered me. It was the way he went on, it was the way he communicated it. And if I was
Pass.
talking to and if I was talking to my boss like he was talking about his employer, I would be hauled under the carpet. And that was the problem. I know you agree, Christopher, with what he said. You agree with every
100%.
word he said.
100%.
I think he's a young
I think I
guy
wrote
that
the
said all the
material
right
for him.
things, just said it the wrong way.
Yes, and I will grant you that he is a young guy who was really annoyed. And when we were young guys, we all went off and did those kind of things. Okay.
Still
Emotions
do.
different better.
Until some of us got smarter, and realized bashing your head against a brick wall was a waste of time.
Emotions
But
take
and
over.
even in the game on Friday night, I'm telling you, I'm sure some of the Calgary Stampeders took some names and some numbers, okay, for the next time they play.
Well, that's
'Cause
next week, so we'll
yes,
see.
I know, because BC was not very gracious at all. And I don't know what that was all about. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. It wasn't a spectacular game in my opinion. You know, I like the outcome. I love the abusiveness of it. But you know what? If you're going to win with class. And I'm not totally convinced BC did that. Okay. And that says a lot about coaching more than it does anything else.
I think it says something about leadership.
Yeah.
Well, the question I've been wanting to ask you all week is why didn't Dave, is it a case of Dave Dickinson not having his team prepared to play the game? I've never seen Calgary look that bad in every aspect of the game.
Mike, okay, they were horrible last year, and I did not see a game like that last year at all. Like that's probably the worst game I've seen in a long time. And I said to the guy I was sitting with, I bet you at halftime this is going to be a 60 burger for one side, because it was that. And I don't know what happened. I really
funny
don't
Well,
know.
the
thing
final
is-
score was BC Lions 52 and the Calgary Stampeders were 23. And honestly, I think the 23 points for Calgary was generous. So
the last couple of weeks, it's kind of funny. The two top teams in the CFL got completely embarrassed.
Oh, they got destroyed.
Once
Yeah,
again,
And I'm not taking anything away from Calgary. I still put them at the top of the power rankings. I still
didn't.
believe they're a very strong team, and that was just a one-off fucking fuck up, for lack of a better term, man.
No,
You know,
no,
they say
they've had.
the games don't mean anything until after Labor Day, and we're starting to see that.
And we're
Yeah.
starting to see that.
They've had
And
three bad
I like the
weeks.
direction BC is going. So, like I said, it's 52-23, total of 75 points. The only two people that took, sorry, I forgot about Mike and Scott down there. Only Rick and Willie and Sparky took the Calgary Stampeders. Charles, CJ, Mike, and Scott pulled the BC Lions. So we got 100 points on that night. The others did not. Charles picked up an extra 24 because he went like high at 66 points. Will got 2, CJ got 0, Rick had 8, Sparky had 0, Mike had 0, Scott had 4. It was an over game, that's for sure. Saturday afternoon, we had the Winnipeg Blue Bombers went into Ottawa to play the Red Blacks. And this was an absolute disgusting pile of shit. I don't know what else you can call this game. Strebler was the quarterback for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Zach Claros was out with a head injury of some form or another. And Strebler couldn't throw the ball to save his life. I think at halftime, it was 1 reception for 6 yards or something like this. The end of the game, it was like 8 receptions for 54 yards. And Winnipeg beat Ottawa. What's the 3?
3 receptions.
3 receptions for 54 yards.
54 yards.
3. Yeah.
3.
3 receptions for 54 yards. Winnipeg beats the Ottawa Red Blacks. How
Special teams.
Bob Dice still has a job is one of the wonders of the world, because it boggles the mind that after 5 years of this guy in Ottawa, this team can't beat Strebler. It's embarrassing.
Okay, so
especially when they had 408 yards passing.
yeah.
408 yards passing.
Yeah.
Come on, seriously.
Here's an interesting little tidbit. This isn't the Bombers' lowest output passing ever in a game where they won the game. So this is and you're right, this was an absolute garbage game. I mean, it was just, I'm considering myself very fortunate to get away with a win. A win, by the way, that tied us with BC and put us in 3rd place. So I'll take that.
No, you did not deserve that win. Ottawa should have taken that game.
Yep.
And the fact that they didn't is fucking embarrassing.
But here, CJ, this is what really exemplifies what Will and I say all the time. Stats, those passing stats and that, they mean nothing. The W is the only thing that means anything. No, it's all about the
W's. I know the W's matter.
You know?
Okay.
I mean,
it is.
As you were saying, Mr. Rourke had a phenomenal game. His stats were spectacular. He's still quarterbacking a 7-17, fighting for a playoff spot.
Right, but 3 of the losses weren't his.
The nice thing about the Bomber game was that I was so disgusted with football on Saturday that I didn't watch it.
Ottawa cannot win as long as Bob Dice.
My wife looked at me and said, "Aren't you watching football today?" I'm like, "Yeah, no. Sorry."
That Calgary game did it to you, eh?
Oh, yeah.
If the commission,
that was a good thing. It saved you from watching this shit show, because that's exactly what it was. So it ended up Winnipeg 26, Ottawa 18. I think that was 6 field goals, wasn't it? Did Ottawa even get in the end zone?
No.
Yeah, twice. They had 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns? Okay, well, anyhow, I tuned out of this game. It was terrible. Okay, so hang on. Charles and Willie
Picked
and
Ottawa.
Mike took Ottawa to win. CJ, Rick, Sparky, and Scott took the Bombers. Okay, so we got 100 points there, and you guys got 0. Extra points. Charles picked up 30, Willie with 20, CJ with 22, Rick 14, Sparky 24, Mike 18, and Scott nailed it. 50 points, buddy. Nailed it. Okay. He's not even on the fucking podcast, and he's winning our pool. Okay. The last game was the Edmonton Elks went into the Hammer to play the Ticats, and this game went exactly how I thought it would, or no, it didn't, because Hamilton didn't dominate this the way that they should have. This was basically an Edmonton game until the very last play. And the very last play was the one that mattered. I think at a couple of times during the game, the announcers came out and said it's whoever's going to have the ball at last in this game is going to win. And Hammer kicked a field goal with no time left on the clock to take the victory. And that's what it was. I was driving up to Coquihalla, and between mountains, I was picking up reception and watching it on TSN app. And when I couldn't do that, I got Sirius XM going. And so it was back and forth for me on this entire game, but I got it coming up the highway. And I'm going, I kind of wanted Edmonton to win, but I don't want Edmonton to win because they're in the division. They're right behind BC. So Edmonton had to lose. And Hamilton is really my number 2 team in the league. So we'll pick the Tiger Cats, another feline. And so that's the way it ended up. It was an interesting game. Mike, I'll give you 10 seconds or so to talk and grovel and do whatever you need to, moan and whine and whatever would you like to do, or you can just say pass.
Pass.
Okay. It was Hamilton Tiger Cats 29, Edmonton Elks 27, total of 56 points. Everybody picked the Hammer, but Mike, he took Edmonton. So we all picked up 100 points. Charles with 34, Willie got 40, CJ with 38, Rick with 38, Sparky got 40. Mike, you picked up 30, and Scott nailed this one at 50 points. That's 2 perfects in 1 week. I don't know if we've heard that one before. Okay, so let's finish this one up real quick, and we'll go over the results. Number 1 in the week was Scott with 522, CJ with 474. We got 396 from Charles, 374 from Sparky, who jumped over Willie. Rick, you actually scored well at 366. Mike down at 264. Willie at 274. So we now have CJ's at the top at 70. It goes anyhow. We'll go down. Let's get out of this. We don't care what the overall score is. Sparky did give me this. Let's talk CFL pick'em standings. With Scott is 4-0 at 100%. Way to go, buddy! Like it doesn't get better than that. That's 1 week. We're going to expect you to crash.
We will.
CJ's up there with 39 victories, 23 with a .629 average on the season. Feels like I'm doing MLB. Charles at 38, Sparky at 37, Will's at 36. Mike's down at 10 and 9 with a .526 average. And Ricky's down at the bottom there. He's an even 500 now, 31 and 31. Way to go, Rick. You're like pulling up your socks. You're making a run for it at the end there, right? We'll see what happens for the rest of the season. Are you going to stay above that 500 line or what's going on here? Okay. So
Go
in
Bombers.
comparison,
Go Bombers. CJ's got 39 and 23.
So the CFL Pick'em Media, the number 1 is Pat Steinberg and Matthew Cause at 39 and 23, tied with CJ. Behind them is Christina Constable at 37 and 25. And then Vicky Hall and Jamie Nye are in the tail at 36 and 26. So, we're right in the same realm with them. Willie's at 36, Sparky's at 37, Charles is 38, and CJ's 38. We're doing really well. We're equal to or better than the majority of the media personnel on this one. So, good job, guys. Pretty happy about this.
I'm getting my ass kicked by a lady.
2 of them. Christina Constable and Vicky Hall. Jamie Nye is wiping your ass, okay? So that's embarrassing.
He's not the science guy, is he?
Yeah. No, that's Bill Nye. And he just got a star in the Walk of Fame, eh? Down in Hollywood. I don't understand why, but he did. Okay. So we got 4 games coming up this week, and this is where it gets interesting. So we're coming down to the backstretch. There's only about 4 games left for each team. I believe that's what it is, or very close to it. Might be 5, might be 3. 5. It's coming to the stretch. 5 for the Riders because they were on a bye.
Yeah.
Okay. So most teams have got a bye coming up. We'll see what happens. Riders just pailed back their last one. There is a game coming, or a week coming up pretty soon where there's only 3 games. So there's going to be 3 teams on a bye in 1 week. Okay, so the first game up is the Calgary Stampeders, who put in that dismal performance in their home stadium, and they're traveling east to Montreal. They got Vernon Adams back at the helm, but Montreal also has Davis Alexander. And Davis Alexander is 8-0 as a starter. 8-0. He is working on the #1 streak, setting the record. I think the record right now is 8-0, isn't it? Isn't that Danny McManus, I think it was 9-0 as a starter. I think Bo Levi Mitchell holds a record of 12-1 as the best start, but he has a loss in the middle. Davis Alexander has not got that loss yet, so we'll see what happens. So everybody on the media pick'em, Pat Steinberg, Matthew Cause took the Stampeders. Everybody else took the Alouettes. FanDuel has Montreal at 3.5-point favorites with an over-under of 50.5. CFL Pick'em has Montreal at 68%, Calgary at 32. Sparky is picking Montreal at 53. Fucking traitor, eh? Charles has taken Montreal at 45. He has no skin in the game. So that's what's going on. CJ, I'll jump up first. I'm going to take Davis Alexander this one just because I want to see him break the record. So I'm going to take the Montreal Alouettes at 54 points. I like the Montreal Alouette team when Alexander is playing. I do not like them at all when he's not. So are they going to step up the game in all aspects? We're going to find out, aren't we? If not, Calgary's so pissed off right now, they crush them. Let's hope so, unless they've just found out how they play after Labor Day. So that's my kind of pick on it. I'm taking the Montreal Alouettes at 54 points. Sparky's at 53. Charles is at low scoring at 45. William, Calgary Stampeders are in Montreal. How are you going to take this?
They never play well in Montreal either. I don't think they've been there forever. So, except for that Grey Cup in 2008, I think it was. Anyways, I've dropped below Sparky. So
Sparky's ahead of you.
I've decided that I'm going to go for gold, and I want to get down to where Big Brother is. So, I'm going to pick Calgary at 53 points.
William? I would be really disappointed if you took Montreal, okay? I know that's not going to happen.
I'm not Sparky. Sparky's an idiot. Did I say that? Whoops. Sorry, Sparky. You're still an idiot. Voice.
Anyways. Okay, hang on. I know I took a round out of Sparky today, and I hope he didn't go away mad or upset or anything else. But, Stephen, I want you to know that I greatly appreciate what you do for the podcast, for the group, for the guys. all of the graphics, everything, all the charts that you send me, everything else. You're an extreme asset to this podcast. And I want to make sure that you know that and that I appreciate you. And if I go off on a rant because I'm a pissed off fucking camper, don't take it personally, buddy. It's really not about you. Okay. And I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings today. I just want to throw that out there. I love you, buddy. Okay. I do. Willie doesn't, but I do.
And I'll retract that, Sparky. I still think you're an idiot. Anyways, moving on.
Michael.
I am
Calgary
not.
Stampeders, Montreal Alouettes.
I'm just not impressed with Calgary the last 3 weeks. Vernon Adams has not lived up to what he was doing earlier in the year. And with Davis Alexander returning to the team, I think Montreal's is one of the better teams in the league. So I'm going to choose Montreal in 56.
Montreal at 56. Okay. I got to ask a question. You say you haven't been impressed with the Calgary Stampeders for the last 3 weeks. Have you ever been impressed with the Montreal Alouettes for the last 6 weeks? Because I sure the hell haven't.
No, not really.
No, okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Not with McLeod, Bethel, Thompson.
You can't kick Calgary in the teeth if you're not going to do the same for Montreal.
True. Sorry.
Because Montreal's played like shit.
I totally agree with you, but
yeah.
They're a different team with Davis Alexander.
Big time. Big time. We're going to see how big a difference they are. Scott, what are you going to do?
So Montreal, just as you guys mentioned, they were playing like crap for 5 games or so. Med Thompson came in, embarrassed the Riders, just embarrassed them.
Yep.
The players always seem to play better when your quarterbacks come into play. Under Davis Alexander, I just don't think Calgary stands a chance. VA has not been playing good. He's been embarrassed the last couple of games. And in the later parts of the season, he always plays injured and not very good. So this is going to be Montreal in 58.
Montreal in 58. Ricky, what are you going to do?
Calgary.
You going to side with your brother?
I am. Calgary 57.
Okay. I think this game's going to be a lot closer to what anybody thinks. I don't think Calgary is a bad team. They have been playing like shit the last little while. Vernon Adams is having some problems. He's got to learn to work through them. And I'm really hoping that Dave Dickinson is the man that everybody says that he is and not the man that I believe him to be. And that he should be doing some of that quarterback whispering right now, okay? Because he's got to do something. Otherwise, Calgary's going to end up looking for that crossover.
Wait a sec. I think Calgary's strength in the games they've won have been more defensive than offensive.
100%.
And their defense was not even in the game this week. They were like not there. Some switch in all of their heads got clicked to the wrong spot. I've had it with amateur teams where they can play much better, and for whatever reason, they're just not all there that day. That's a one-day thing, not going to happen this weekend.
I thought there was a bunch of cardboard cutouts of Calgary Stampeder defensive players on the field that day.
No,
because I'm pretty sure they were pretending to be pylons or something.
100%
okay, so
agree.
that's the first game on Friday. The second game, oh my God, what is this? This is the Toronto Argonauts, who coming to the West Coast to play the BC Lions, who historically don't do well in BC. But Toronto absolutely embarrassed the Lions last time they were out. Rourke played a great game, came out with 36 points, and Nick Arbuckle came out with 54. So BC defense kind of played like Calgary's defense last week, and I'm really hoping BC can turn this one around and do something about it. The CFL writers have picked a straight sweep for the BC Lions. FanDuel's got BC at 7.5 points. That's huge, with an over-under of 57.5, and that's huge. BC is a 91% favorite on CFL Pick'em. Toronto is 9%. Sparky has taken BC Lions at 50. Charles has taken the BC Lions at 51. CJ is going to take the BC Lions at 54 because 54 is the score that I've taken for the entire fucking season. And I have no doubt in my mind the BC Lions are going to come in here and smash the Toronto Argonauts, coming on the West Coast, 3-hour time change, playing at midnight. Nobody likes to play football at midnight. So that's kind of my belief on the system. I think BC is just a better team, and they're on the uphill swing. Now, if Toronto comes out victorious on this, I don't know what the hell is going to happen for the rest of the season for the Lions. I really couldn't say it. But I think I'm looking at this, and there's no reason. I honestly didn't think the BC Lions would play all that well at the end of the season. And right now, I have no doubt that they could possibly do a clean sweep on the remaining 4 games. What have they got? Toronto, Calgary, Saskatchewan, and Edmonton. So, yeah, could they come out with 4 victories in this? Highly possible. It would definitely be interesting on the standings, I'll tell you that. Realistically, not a fucking hope. They split it 2-2, I'll be happy. Going to take Toronto, going to take Edmonton. What happens with Calgary and Saskatchewan is going to be a coin flip. Willie, BC Lions.
So you're saying the game's in BC, eh?
The game's in BC. We're playing the Argonauts.
Shit. I was going to pick the Argos, but it's in BC. Shit.
Nick Arbuckle's back behind on the bench.
Yeah, I know.
For first time since week 1 that all starting quarterbacks are playing.
Yeah. I will go with BC. Give me 53.
53. Gotcha. Michael.
Well, I think after the performance that BC put on last week, and they've got the MOP player in Nathan Rourke, he is the MOP for the entire league this year.
No.
Way to go, Mike.
Not if their record
got it right.
Not if their record doesn't get better.
The way BC's playing right now, I put them at number 1 in the league, even though they're at 7-7. They're the best team playing right now.
Have you watched the defense in BC, Mike?
They were the best
not the last game. They actually played good defense in Calgary.
I think
they didn't have to play that good, but they did.
I really think that this is going to be a blowout, and BC is going to win by 63 points is going to be the total. It's going to be a blowout.
So what's your pick?
I'm picking the BC Lions.
What's your score?
63.
63. Oh, okay. I'm good with that. Rick, I'll throw you in next.
BC 58.
BC 58. You did pick Calgary at the 57, eh?
Well, that's because Scott already had a 58 pick.
Oh, did he? I can kick him out of there if you want. You're good?
No. That's not the way I roll, Chris. Defer.
Okay. I could kick him out.
I didn't know your last name was Tafur.
It is. Tougher. Scott, what are you going to do?
So this one's going to be an interesting one for me because earlier in the season, the BC defense was just not playing good. That's one of the reasons that they weren't winning games. Their offense has been putting out numbers all year round. Nick Arbuckle coming back for Toronto. Yeah, that's going to help them a little bit. I got to be honest. Nathan Rourke right now is playing MOP football. Can he string it together and be consistent year after year after year? We'll see. But right now,
game after game after game,
right now there is no other better quarterback in the league other than Nathan Rourke. Hands down, period. CJ and I have had many conversations about Rourke over the years. So I do have to eat some crow. He's playing fantastic ball. So I do have BC at 57.
You want Montreal at 57? Never mind. Never mind. Okay. The next game up on Saturday afternoon, we have The Hamilton Tiger Cats are going into Winnipeg to play the Blue Bombers. This game has the CFL media has everybody's taken the hammer except Pat Steinberg, who is actually leading. He's taken the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. FanDuel betting odds has Winnipeg at 1.5 favorites and at an over-under of 52.5. CFL Pick'em has a hammer at 72, Winnipeg 28. Sparky Calculator has Winnipeg at 50. Charles has taken Hamilton at 56. Wow, what's CJ going to do here? I'm going to take 54 points.
And
the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Big surprise.
I've always known you were a Bo Levi lover. Admit it. Admit it. Admit it, baby. Admit it. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Bo Levi.
Bo.
Bend over for Bo. Bend over for Bo.
You know what? I completely forgot that he was actually playing for the team. You know, I completely forgot until you just said that.
Poster on your wall. I know you do.
Yeah. It's embarrassing as hell, but yeah, okay. Rick, what do you want to do here?
Bombers 58.
Bombers 58.
No surprise there, right?
What's that?
No surprise there, right?
No, absolutely not. No, I'm not shocked by that at all. In fact, awesome. I think I had it written down here. If you took anybody but the Bombers, I would have been shocked, okay? William, what do you want?
Bombers 51.
Bombers at 51. Winnipeg 51. Scott, what are you going to do?
I'm going to say Winnipeg over Hamilton at 62. I think Zach Collaros being in the lineup, they're fighting for their playoff lives, and Zach being in there, they're just going to play hard for him. So I think a lot of people are going to be upset on that one.
I honestly don't know if Zach's got it in him anymore to pull out the tough victories.
If the old line can play for him, yes.
They haven't all season.
No,
they haven't.
No. But
I mean, you got a dinosaur at left tackle there with Stanley Bryant. I don't know. I don't think Winnipeg is a shadow of their former self. They're not the dynasty that everybody wants them to be.
Never was.
Never was. We know that. Okay, Mike, you're last on this one. What are you going to do here and why?
The reason I'm going to choose Winnipeg is Winnipeg and 49, and the reason being is Collaros is back in the lineup. If Strebler was the quarterback of Winnipeg, there's no way I would go with Winnipeg.
Well, that's not enlightening. None of us would have. Even Rick wouldn't have taken Strebler.
And the yes, one time I didn't. The one time I didn't, Chris, what happened?
He lost he won BC.
He beat BC, and I didn't get the win because I went against my Bombers. Never going to do that again.
I know.
The difference with Winnipeg having Collaros is that they have a passing game. When they have Stretchler, they do not have any type of passing game, and that's even thinking. I think isn't Wheatfield going to be out this week? I think he's going to be out this week, but it doesn't matter. Collaros is going to have some weapons to throw to. I just can't see I can't see Bo Levi having a big enough game to beat Collaros in his return.
If they actually get Oliveira to run the ball, it would be a different game. But he hasn't been running the ball.
Is it in Winnipeg or is it in Hamilton?
It's in Winnipeg.
Okay.
And I'm actually I'm gonna be in Winnipeg, but I'm not going to the game.
Why not?
I got other things to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And there is a final game. There's another game. Oh my God. We have the Saskatchewan Roughriders are traveling one province over to play with Edmonton Elks at Commonwealth Stadium. This isn't even going to be an interesting game. This is not even going to be interesting. CFL Media picks a clean sweep with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. FanDuel has Saskatchewan by 3.5 on a 54.5 over/under. CFL Pick'em has Saskatchewan 83%, Edmonton 17. Sparky's taken Saskatchewan at 50. Charles has got Saskatchewan at 52. CJ's taken the Roughriders at 54 points. I'll tell you, I'm not a fan of Trevor Harris. I'm surprised that he's still playing football without crutches at this time of the year, which is impressive considering he's only completed one entire season in his entire 14-year career. It's not a complete season for him. He has missed games, but maybe he's going to stay together for the rest of the season. Who knows? We'll see what happens. He's never played the big game. He's never won the big game. He's never participated in the big game. And we don't know whether or not he can.
Yes, he has.
But what's that?
Yes, he has.
What has he? He's won the Grey Cup. Which one?
He's participated in the big game.
He's participated. Yes.
He started in the big game in 2018 in Edmonton.
He did.
Thank you.
And participated poorly.
Well, okay.
Okay. So that's where I'm picking the Riders. I just think Riders are not a bad team. They've been playing like shit lately. And are they going to be able to step it up? I don't know. They can't play after Labor Day. They have never been able to play after Labor Day. So we're after Labor Day. Or what are they going to do? Are they going to come to play football, or are they going to sulk around for the rest of the season like they normally do? I don't know. We'll let Scott go first. It's his team.
I'll make a point that normally they don't win Labor Day. They don't win Banjo Bowl and lose the rest of them too. They won those 2 games. Anyways, this is actually going to surprise a lot of people. I'm picking Edmonton on this one. And it's the same reason. It's the same reason why I chose Montreal over Saskatchewan in that embarrassment loss. I love my Riders to death. They cannot win a game when they have a chance to clinch something. If the Riders win, they're pretty well guaranteed home playoffs. They don't play well when they have the ability to clinch themselves.
You're picking Edmonton.
I am picking Edmonton at 60.
5-0.
6-0.
6-0.
Yeah.
Wow. Michael, you're Edmonton Elks.
Edmonton's going to have
a vote of confidence there from the Greenie.
Edmonton is going to have 30,000 people in the stadium this weekend.
Really?
25 of them.
Yes.
25
They've
of them.
They have sold out the Lower Bowl.
Yeah, but guess what? 28,000 of them will be Saskatchewan fans.
True story.
It's only what is it to Edmonton? A 6-hour drive, 8-hour drive?
Oh fuck, it's only 4 hours from the border.
Okay.
Edmonton,
7 hours to both Calgary and Edmonton.
Cody Fajardo played very well last week. Did not make any game losing decisions like the week before. When we should have won in Toronto, we should have won last week in Hamilton. We've been playing good football the last 7 weeks.
Coulda, woulda.
Edmonton's going to win, and it's going to be 55.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I don't think so, but so be it. Willie.
And I don't like to jinx anybody, but I think what's going to happen is Trevor Harris is going to get hurt. And then Scott will get to see what having the shittiest backup quarterback in the CFL is all about. Okay? The name is Jake Mayer, and he's horrible.
Jeremiah Mazzoli.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Mazzoli.
At least Jeremiah can sort of run. Anyways.
My opinions are not yet formed on Mayer.
Well, mine are.
Hopefully that's not till next year.
Okay. Anyways, I am going to go 51 points. And I wanna be tied with my big brother, so I am picking Edmonton.
Wow. Okay.
One of these days,
Ricky,
it's gonna.
up
One
to
of
you,
these days,
buddy.
you guys are gonna give me some respect. One of these
Never,
days.
never. You're an Edmonton
Never.
fan. You don't get respect out of my mouth ever.
Okay,
Rick,
so
you're last.
first off, I have to point out that the Riders can play after Labor Day because I'm pretty sure they've won some Grey Cups. So it does happen.
Yeah, 4 of them in
Or
125
in
years.
125 years.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They can
They
play
could have won
after
a
Labor
fifth,
Day.
but they can't count. Anyways.
And I am going to pick the Riders at 58.
You're taking Saskatchewan at 58.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Okay, well, that's the wrap on those games. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm glad that we had fun. Where are we now? We're an hour and 17. So we're about an hour into the show. I think we talked about 17 minutes before it started. It never doesn't tell me how long I've been recording. It just tells me how long that I brought this up. And I think I brought it up about
hour and 5 minutes.
Is that where we're at? How do you know?
Because it says on my screen.
Mine says an hour and 17 recording.
I got a little red light that says an hour and 6 minutes.
Mine says
Okay, mine says an hour and 17, and that's usually how long that the team meeting has been open, not how long we've been actually recording.
Okay, so mine would be right.
Maybe. It sounds pretty close there, William. Okay, so
future going forward, I'll put my timer on when we start.
We're going to start. Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. Maybe I should have thought of that. I'm getting old. I think I'm going to start using a nicotine patch. Did you hear that? That's a kind of a cool thing. It's nicotine is helps your cognitive abilities. It's addictive, but it helps your brain function a little bit better. That's why smokers tend to be a little bit more intelligent, or most geniuses all smoke. It's because they want the nicotine, but I don't like the carcinogens from the smoking. So I'm just going to put a nicotine patch on and see how it goes. It's kind of my conspiracy theory thing on that one for that. Yeah, Rick, you take alcohol. That's not good. That's
Whiskey does the same thing. Well,
yeah, no, that's the opposite.
Makes me better.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes all women look better, doesn't it?
Not all.
Okay.
Gentlemen.
So what do you guys want to talk about now? We've got Charles didn't give me an agenda, so we're kind of wide open. Anything interesting happening in the CFL that we need to discuss?
I think what we need to do is we need to put everybody on mute and let Christopher go off.
No,
I don't want to.
Then he wants sleep tonight.
No, yeah, you'll get my blood pressure up, and I'll be zooming, and then I'll have to be watching porn till 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that because I won't be able to sleep. So. No, that's a bad idea.
Well, we can
so
talk
as
about
I started out on this podcast,
how no Calgary Stampeders made the honor roll this week. How come?
Did they
what
play?
half a dozen Lions did? Okay, so we're going to step football aside for a second, and we're going to talk about our illustrious commissioner. You know, I never, ever, ever in my wildest fucking dreams, William,
yes, sir,
did I ever say that I wish I had Randy Ambrosie as the commissioner.
You're
Never
right
would I have dreamed I would have said that.
You're absolutely right. I've never heard you say that.
Never. But I'd love that Lovellard back right now, because this skinny, bald-headed fucker just needs a slap. Okay.
I think
as I said at the beginning of the podcast, Stuart Johnson, our illustrious commissioner, who we should show some respect for. Why? I have no idea. And I'm not going to. And he's changed some rules. And some of the rules are absolutely fucking stupid. And a lot of them are worse. So let's go over the ones that I can remember. And actually, there's one rule change that I don't have an issue with. Absolutely have no issue with. Okay, none at all. I think it's a good rule, and I think that it should have been implemented years ago. And I'm glad that the CFL is finally taking a step forward and doing this. Okay, does anybody want to guess what it is?
Putting teams on the opposing sidelines.
Bingo.
That's just
We should not have teams standing on the same sidelines. They should be opposite side of the arena. They've always been that way in the Western teams until very recently, and BC put them both on the one sideline because they wanted better, more seats or something down on the playing field. I don't know what the fuck it was, but BC changed it to everybody, both on both sidelines. I 100% agree with this. Teams should not be on the same side of each other. It causes altercations. It can cause animosity. It causes a zillion different things. William, why are you laughing? What's so funny? What's your take on this?
I can't believe they had to make that rule change. It's so obvious. It's not funny. Okay.
Okay. Here's a funny thing. I've never really noticed they weren't that way all the time.
Well, I notice in Calgary because the fans in Calgary just go after the players on 100%. The other side of the field continuously all game long.
Yeah. I did that. I think I've told William this, but the other three guys haven't heard this. Many years ago, and we're talking decades ago, there was a kicker. He wasn't very good, and he was a kicker, so it doesn't really matter. But his name was Troy Westwood, and he was kicking for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And it was the first time that Matt Dunnigan, playing for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, had come back to BC after leaving the BC Lions. And I was front row center, right to the right, about the 35, 40-yard line is where I had season's tickets, right in the front row, right where the kicker was practicing. Okay. And I heckled Troy Westwood the entire fucking game. And I did not let up for a second. My voice was hoarse. It was terrible. I went at him, and Troy Westwood went 0 for 7 in field goals in that game. 0 for 7. He destroyed his kicking net. He threw his tee at me. Okay. At the end of the game, Andre Francis intercepted Matt Dunnigan in the end zone, ran it out to the 35-yard line, walked over to the bleachers, handed me the football, and said, "You won this game for us. Thank you." I still have that football. So William's heard this story before because we've been on the podcast for 10 years together, but you guys haven't heard that. Literally, that's what happened. I got the football. Andre Francis, who actually I understand turned out to a crackhead, and he's living in a shoe somewhere in Maple Ridge. I could be wrong. Yeah, Troy Westwood went 0 for 7 in field goals that game. 0 for 7. I think I got under his skin. Anyhow, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So players on opposite sides of the field. 100% agree with this rule change. And I agree with William why this had to be a rule. It should have just happened. And it's always been the Eastern teams that have been on the same side, and the Western teams were always on opposite side. And then BC wanted to be like Toronto because Vancouver thinks they're fucking idiots. And I'm sorry, I can't believe that that part of the province actually voted Liberal in the last federal election, last provincial election. They voted NDP, and now we have an NDP premier and we have a Liberal prime minister because Vancouver's a bunch of fucking idiots. Okay, sorry, did I say that out loud? Inside voice, CJ, inside voice. We don't talk politics on this show. Just let people know that. And that wasn't politics. That was just stating facts. Okay. That was the only rule change that I actually agree on. Everything else is ridiculous.
Mhm.
One of the rules that they changed the length of the field from 55 yards per side, 110 yards overall, down to the 50-yard line being center. So this is 100% Americanized our field, our length of our field, not our width, Rick. Don't shake your head. It is 100% Americanized the length of our field. Why? There is no good reason why.
They're trying to
I
get more
understand
scoring.
their justification, but there's not a good reason why. They're having problems with BMO Field. BMO Field was supposed to be a temporary stadium for the Argonauts, and it's not very temporary because they've been there at least a decade. And same with McGill in Montreal. And but yeah, now they've shortened the field from 110 yards to 100 yards. And his justification is that he believes that there will be 10% more touchdowns in a season. There'll be 60 more touchdowns. I'm sorry. Only a white man would cut a foot off the blanket, sew it onto the other end, and think the blanket was bigger. Okay? That's the Indian Chiefs analysis of daylight saving time. There is no way in hell that you're going to get more touchdowns because you started at the 25-yard line than you did when you started at the 35-yard line. Okay?
And you're taking the field goals.
The average starting position in the CFL this season has been between 35 and 40 yards, depending on your team. No team has started closer than the 40-yard line, and no team has started further back than the 35. They have at times, particularly, but on average for the entire season. Okay, so that's it. So taking 10 yards out isn't going to make them 10 yards closer to the end zone because they're not going to be starting at the 35. They're going to be starting at the 25. It's going to be the same amount of yards to the end zone. There's just not going to be as many behind you. How does this make the game better? Anybody? I'll let you. Oh, come on, counter it, please. Dead silence. You know why? Nobody fucking can argue with me.
I don't believe it makes a difference.
Neither do
Michael, go ahead. Hang on, Rick. Hang on. Michael, what did you say? You don't believe it makes a difference?
I don't believe you're losing 10 yards in the middle of the field is going to make that much of a difference to the game.
It's going to make a huge difference to the game. I don't think it's going to increase scoring.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. I kind of want to see a season and see where these changes make a difference because I like the idea of taking the goalposts and moving them back to the back of the end zone.
We're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're not there.
The thing. The CFL has always been 110 yards. Reducing it just Americanizes it.
How does it Americanize?
How does it? Because there's no other league than the CFL that does it.
How does it Americanize the game when you've got 65 yards in width?
We're talking about a single aspect of it, Michael.
You can always argue these other points. That's great, but the actual length, it's what the CFL is known.
Canadian football is 110 yards. It always has been. It is in youth sports. It is in every sports out there. BC, some places of Ontario and New Brunswick play American rules completely. So their field sizes are different. But when you're playing Canadian rules, it's 110 yards. I don't care where you are. Okay? Whether you're junior football, you're in youth sports, you're in high school football, everything has been 110 yards. This is in itself going to screw up multiple leagues throughout Canada. Rick, you're saying no.
How's it?
How does it screw
Hang
up?
on, Michael.
High school doesn't have to change. Community doesn't have to change just because the CFL does. It's 10 yards. It's a nothing burger. Absolutely nothing
It's a
burger.
nothing
It's
burger,
10 yards.
except for already Calgary has said that they're not changing their field size for the Stampeders.
I guess the league will deal with that in their own way if it comes down to that. They got till 2027 to get on board. I don't think it makes a difference. The worst reasoning for anything anywhere, business, football, life, is we need to do it this way because this is the way it's always been done. It's always been 110 yards. What does that mean? It's not carved in stone. It's not the tablets from the mountain with the 10 commandments on it. It's just 10 yards. I don't see it. I could be wrong. Maybe it'll ruin the game, like you say, and I would be wrong. But in my mind, my intellect says it's 10 yards. And the reason for keeping it, if the only thing you can come up with, Scott, is because it's always been 110 yards, that is not a reason to keep something the same.
Give me a good reason to get to 100 yards, though.
There is no reason either side.
Where's the stats to show that this is a great move?
I don't need stats. It's a nothing burger. It's 10 yards.
So why change it?
It's not going to change the game.
So then
at
why
all.
change it?
Why change
Why
it?
change it?
There's no
Why
stats.
not change it?
Why?
Why not change
Why
it?
why change it?
Why not change it?
Because there's no justification to change it. It's the way it is. Let's keep it that way. If you can tell me a reason to change it, if there's a logical reason to change it,
okay.
I may concede my point. But you can't.
Fair point.
And keep your
fair point.
Stop pointing your finger at me.
Fair point. If you can give me a logical reason why it has to stay at 110, then I'll shut up. Your reasoning, Chris. Give me a logical reason.
That's absolutely backwards.
Here's a logical reason.
It's your reasoning, sir.
Here, I'll give you a reason. Let's make it 100 meters.
Didn't we try that years ago? Weren't they doing it in meters on TV when they were announcing it back when metric first came into Canada, and it didn't stick, so it went away?
Yeah, because it was dumb. Just like making it 100 yards. Okay, well, but 100 meters is a lot closer to 110 yards than it is to 100.
Okay. So your logical reason is it's dumb.
It's dumb to change. Yeah, it's a stupid fucking reason to change it. There's no good reason to change it. You can't make change for the sake of making change. If you can't come up with a viable reason, then leave it alone.
Here's the reason
why. If you can't come up with a viable reason to leave it alone, then I would go with you, Chris. But give me a reason why it has to be that way, logically, not because it's dumb.
Well, why do we have speed limits at 50 kilometers? Why don't we make them 45? Why don't we make them 55? Because they're 50 kilometers.
Yes, because the powers that be made them that.
Right. So the powers that be made it 110 yards. And just because we got an NDP government doesn't mean they can change the speed limits because they're being fucking idiots.
Actually, they can because they're in power. That's the logic behind it. The guys in power in the CFL now want to make it 100 yards. They can do it, just like we can change speed limits on highways.
And the reason why
they can do it. The question isn't can they do it, because they've done it. The question is, why would you do it? And what's the purpose?
Can you
give me the purpose? They're doing it.
They're trying to go.
Go ahead, Mike. I've been cutting you off too much here.
They're trying to grow revenue, Chris. They're looking at trying to expand into the American market. And when the Americans take a look at it on CBS Sports or going into ESPN, it's going to be visually better. It's going to be more familiar to an American audience. Now, I know that this is a Canadian game, but when you got empty stadiums across the league and you got a TV contract that has only $50 million a year, don't you think you need to look at your business model and try to grow EBITDA?
100%, I agree with you. 100%. So let's look at the business model and look how we can change the business model. There's nothing the matter with the game. It's not broken. The business model is terrible. It's disgusting. There's not a fucking brain there's not an owner out here that's done anything to improve their business. changing the way that the game is. The game is exciting. The game is expanding right now. There's the marketplace. Okay, let's go back to your concept of American marketing, right? I agree. We need to market into America. America's the largest football audience in the world. They have 350 million people. Canada has 35, 40, something like that. Okay, so I agree. We need to market more to Americans. Okay, 100%. Now, ESPN did a poll on how many Americans watch the CFL. And their answer was 10% of the US population either watch the CFL or closely watch the CFL. So if you have 10% of the US population at 350 million people, that's 35 million people. That's every man, woman, and child in Canada would be watching the CFL. That's already in the United States. That's how many people are watching the CFL in the United States. Okay?
So your point?
My point is they don't need the game to change to watch it. They are already watching it. Now, have we taken that number from 10% to 40%? Not yet, but has there been any marketing in it? Is there any promotions in America? Is there any TV deals that they have done? And more than what they've done with CBS, which is a joke, but it's better than ESPN's. They're not marketing the game down there. They're not going back to the universities where our stars, Bo Levi Mitchell, even Nathan Rourke or Zach Caleros. What universities were they at? And are you promoting the game to their alumni? Okay, that is something that's always happened. Is the alumni of these universities goes, we have no idea where that guy went. We didn't know he was playing football in Canada. We'd be following it. Okay. The lack of marketing and promotion in the United States for our star players does not exist. Whose fault is that? That is the business model of the owners of the league, of the teams, is broken. They're not doing their job. And what have they done? They're blaming it on the game. They're blaming it on the way the game is played. And it's not the game's fault. The game is exciting, is interesting. People who watch it want to watch it. But the business model is broken.
Christopher, you're talking opposite of Mike's point. It's not that we want viewers from the U.S. We want expansion teams in the U.S.
Well, we can do that without changing the field size.
Not in most of their stadiums.
We're not talking about most of their stadiums. We only need one.
Well, we need more than one. And may I remind you that during the Baltimore Ravens reign in the league, best attendance in the league.
Who?
Baltimore Ravens, best attendance in the league when they're in the CFL.
Call yourself a CFL fan, Rick?
Baltimore Stallions. Best attendance in the league.
At the time.
So why can't that be?
It can.
Most of their existing infrastructure won't take a field our size.
You only need one team in the U.S. for the American fans to get behind it.
If one's good, 6 would be better.
Of course. So pick your stadiums that will house a CFL-sized team.
You know, they don't really exist. They don't build them that way. And once again, you're 100%. We don't have to change the way the game is played because it's exciting. But the length of the field isn't the way the game is played. It's what's played on that 100 yards that makes the difference, not that it's 110 yards. It's the game. It's the waggle. It's the deep pass. It's the Canadian excitement. It's not the length of the field that determines our game. It just isn't.
I am going to slightly concede this point. Okay. Only because you are correct.
That's good enough for me.
This is not the mountain or the stone that I am going to fight my battle because it's not worth it. Okay?
100%.
Okay? There's still no justification for changing it.
I'll give you that.
Okay? Changing it for the sake of changing it doesn't make sense. but this is
It
not the
does
most
not.
important change. That's why I took it first.
Okay.
This is not the hill I'm going to die on.
I can't wait for that hill.
Okay?
Okay.
What?
We're waiting.
We're waiting. Dead air. Remember, Christopher? You always tell me
Can't
about dead
somebody
air.
else pick one of these things and run with it, or you just want me to run the show? It's my show. I'll do it.
You do run the
Okay.
show.
There you go.
So what have we done? We have changed the length of our end zones. We have a 20-yard end zone, which is a beautiful space of real estate in which receivers can play. They shortened it to 15 yards.
100%. Yep. It used to be 25. I said 100% right. 20 yards is beautiful to work with those receivers. It used to be 25 yards.
It did. But they changed. They shortened it to 20 yards. Now the NFL has 10 yards, which is stupidly short. I don't understand how they play football in those 10-yard end zones. What's the justification to going to 15? You want to Americanize the game? Why didn't it go to 10? Is this just trying to be special? We still want to be Canadian. We still want to be the odd man out. We still want to be the ugly duckling. We're going to keep a lot bigger end zone, but we're going to shorten it because we don't like scoring. They shortened the field because they want more touchdowns, but now they're making the end zone smaller because they want more touchdowns. But that's not going to work.
No, but in combination with I talk with my hands. I'm half French.
No, you got. I'm going to bolt them to the table. I'm going to fucking crucify you. You're going to have your wrists are going to have nailed to the table. Okay.
In conjunction with shortening the field and moving the goalpost to the back of the end zone, if they left it at 20 yards, that makes field goals 5 yards longer from anywhere in the field.
So then 15, why are we moving the fucking goalposts? Let's not go there right now. We're not there. We're not there right now. Okay. You brought that up, and I'm shutting it down. Okay.
Once again,
so here's a question. Okay, hang on. Here's a question. Now we were told that the reasoning for changing the length of the end zones was because there are two stadiums where the end zones are not. There's not enough real estate to make them 20 yards. Percival, Molson Percival in what's that?
Montreal and Toronto, right?
Well, no, Montreal has the corners cut out, right? So they don't have the corners cut out. And in Toronto, they don't have the depth because of the built as a soccer stadium, okay? So that's the justification for making the end zone smaller. That's what we were told, okay? So what the fuck did we shorten the field for? So if we've got 10 extra yards, 5 yards on each side, so then the end zones just kind of move out. They can have full 10-yard 20-yard end zones because we've just gained 10 yards on each side of the football field. So their argument's now fucking moot.
Yeah, but you got to take under consideration that they're moving the field goals.
We're not talking about the field goals right now. We're talking about the end zone.
The goalposts are being moved back.
I understand that. There's no justification for that. Okay, so we're not the reason they used to change the length of the end zone was because stadiums don't conform. There are two stadiums in the CFL that cannot have a 20-yard end zone. Okay. Agreed? That's what he said. We all saw this the newscast or what do you call it? News conference. And but now they've just taken 10 yards out of the middle. So that brings the end zone closer to the middle. That brings the end zone closer to the middle because they're not going to take the 10 yards out and shrink one side over to the other side, right? They're going to move both sides closer to the middle.
If they're smart, yes.
If they're smart. And no guarantees on that.
Yes. Okay.
No guarantees on that. Okay, so that would now give both BMO Field and Percival Molson enough room to have a full-size end zone. Does it not?
Yes, math works.
So then why change the end zone?
Because of the next rule change they're making, moving the goalposts.
Well, now, why are we moving the...
Well, Christopher, first of all, are we here discussing whether their justification is correct or whether it will affect our game or not? What's the important part? The reason they're doing it, or is it going to affect us?
Both.
Okay. The reason
so
is not important.
So by shortening the end zone, you're going to have less scoring plays.
I don't know if you will.
Those corner routes can't take place the same way.
You know, we got 12 men on the field for a reason. You need space to play.
Yep.
So if they had dropped it from 12 to 11 players and made the end zone smaller, you could have a justification for this. I wouldn't agree with it. I'd be adamantly against it, but you could justify it. You can't justify it now. There's not enough space for those guys to be running around back there. You've got an extra DB back there. You got an extra receiver. They need the space, and that's what the Canadian game is about. It's about movement. That's why we have
15 yards is plenty of space. 15 yards.
But how many corner route touchdowns have you seen where they use up that full space?
Well, yeah, they run out of it in Montreal because the corners are gone.
How many have you seen where they throw it to the receiver under the goalposts?
Exactly.
Lots of
using
those
the goalpost as a pick. It's a great place for it to be.
I don't disagree with that one, Chris. As an offensive coordinator, I like to, when I was down close, run at the goalpost because it was like an extra blocker. Linebackers can't flow over because the goalpost is in the way. So you get a guy taken out. That's how I ran my offense as a coach.
That makes more points.
Yeah, but hang on. Your offense is different because the field goal posts were actually in the ground at the goal line.
Yes.
Right? In the CFL, they're offset back.
Yes.
So the goalpost doesn't interfere with the play. And that was a point that Mike had brought up, is that it restricts the defense. Well, the goalposts in the CFL do not restrict the defense because the goalpost is actually offset.
They minorly get in the way of the defense. It's still something standing in the end zone.
I agree. When I played football in high school, the goalpost was on the goal line. And
Christopher,
I can't say that I didn't hit it. I ran into it a couple of times. And there wasn't nice padding on it.
In the CFL, it can get in the way of that single post. In that it doesn't. I've not seen people run into it or balls bounce off of it, but it is an obstruction in the end zone.
Yeah, it is. And both teams use it to their advantage and their disadvantage.
100%.
It's part of the game.
Yep.
It's what makes the Canadian football game unique.
It's just the surface and the goalposts they play with. It's not the game. The game is the passing, the tackling, the catching, the running. That's the game. It's not the field they play it on or the goalposts. It's the game.
So you can tell me that the difference between lacrosse is lacrosse, whether you're playing in the box or on a field?
Two different games.
It's the same game. It's the game. It's the game in the game. The rules are the same, but it doesn't matter whether it's on grass or in a box.
Yeah. It's a completely different game, box lacrosse and field lacrosse. Completely different.
No, it's lacrosse. Same rules.
It's got the same name. It's a different game. And you know, if you played them both, you know it's different. No,
I played it for 18 years. I played professional lacrosse. I know exactly that game inside and out.
There are some much longer sticks on field lacrosse than box lacrosse.
Yeah. Goalie sits different.
Have something to say?
Sure, Mike. Go ahead. Put up you have the ability to put up your hand. There's a little button there. Oh, Willie's got his hand up. Willie's, hang on. Mike, hang on. Willie's got his hand up.
No, I was trying to get Will to talk.
And all I wanted to say was, are you running over, buddy?
No, I don't care.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to download it.
Yeah, I'll make it work. No, we've been over 2 hours before, and right now we're probably about 40 minutes. An hour 40.
Hour 41, yeah.
somewhere in there. I'm kind of watching it. We're not going to get to all of these rules.
No.
No,
Oh, we can move
we're not.
on. I'm done. We can move
We
on.
could. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your permission, Rick. I appreciate that.
Trying to help out.
And just so you know, the first two rules you mentioned, the longer field and the putting the
Shortened
guys
end zone.
out, okay, sorry, the last three, I think they're all inconsequential. That's why I haven't said a thing.
You did that much more succinctly than me, Willie.
Moving the
I
field
don't
goal post back
hang
also
on.
reduces field goals.
I don't
Sorry?
disagree with the fact that they are not going to make that have that large an impact to the way the game is played. Okay?
Cool.
I will agree with William. I don't understand the necessity to make a change for the sake of making a change.
People do it all the time, though.
But what they don't do it in hockey. Did we make a hockey arena smaller?
And I still don't believe. Okay, you know how the CFL owners have lorded over this league forever. And we've often talked about how the commissioner is just a figurehead. Okay?
Correct.
And so I think those guys have more to do with this than you actually believe.
I don't think they do.
I do.
You've got three different style of owners in this league. One of them is not as important anymore. Okay? But you have billionaires where this is a toy.
Right?
Okay? And I'm going to call Amar Doman in there as a billionaire, even though he's only worth $600 million. It's close enough. It's only halfway there, but it's
if I
close
had
enough.
that, I wouldn't be looking for a job right now. So
No, you wouldn't be looking for a job, nor would I. Okay. And okay, we got Bob Young, and we had Wetnalls in Montreal. Oh, we got the TV guy. Okay, he's a billionaire.
Yep.
French television. Okay, so we got three billionaires. Okay, that are owners. Then we have three. Actually, who's the guy in Edmonton? He's not a billionaire, is he? He's just a multimillionaire.
He's worth.
He's not really, really wealthy.
He's worth 600 million.
Is he?
Yeah.
Mike would have.
I didn't think he was worth that much. Okay, so we got four. I'm going to give him billionaire status too with Amar Doman. Okay, so we got four billionaires. We have three sports conglomerates: MLSE, Ottawa Sports and Entertainment, and the Calgary Flames. What do they call themselves?
The Calgary Flames.
Calgary Sports Group, or who owns them?
Something like that. I don't know.
Something like that. Okay,
they're billionaires, Chris. They're billionaires.
Well, of course they are, but they own a bunch of different sports teams. Okay. Yes. Okay. And then we have formerly three community-owned teams. Okay. So there's no way in hell that a community-owned team is thinking the same logically way that a billionaire is.
Probably not.
There's no way that board of governors can sit down and say, we need to make these changes straight across the board. We need to upset the entire fucking league. We need to change the game. We need to revolutionize it. There's no way that those three groups can sit down and make this kind of decision. Not going to happen. This was dictated to them by one.
So why do you say Bo Levi Mitchell came out and said there's nothing wrong with modernizing the game? He did not have a problem.
Modernizing it. If it was modernizing it, if it was making it better, I would agree with you. I can't see how if these rules, all of a sudden the Gen Z sitting in his mom's basement or wherever the hell he is, turns around and says, oh my God, they moved the goalpost to the back of the field. I'm going to go follow the CFL. There's not a single fucking person out there that's going to do that, that's going to look at these rule changes and say, oh my God, I want to be a fan.
Do you
How do
think
you
that's
know?
better?
How do you know that it's not going to improve the game?
That's the thing. And that's what they will see and maybe come to if it does improve it.
So then why would you make such multiple drastic changes? One, let's
Change
see
one
if
thing.
one thing changes and one thing gets better. Okay. Does it improve the game or detract from the game? Then we'll try something else. But to go in and make wide sweeping changes like this that are pissing off your longtime fans, the fans that pay your bills at this point in time, we put up the polls. The polls are out there. 3-1, the fans are against these changes. 3 to
There's
1.
there's only one rule that's actually going to impact and change the game, and that's the rule change with the or with the Rouge.
With the Rouge. No, the field goals are going to change. Moving the uprights to the back it's going to change everything.
And the league came out and said that they would rather have more touchdowns than they would field goals.
Yeah. What's your
And
point?
that's why they made the changes.
Okay, hang on, stop. I want to deal with this, Michael. You and I are going at this right now. Okay.
Okay.
How is that going to make more touchdowns?
It's supposedly it's going to open up things for the offensive player in the end zone. That's what they're thinking in theory.
No, they're thinking that people are going to go for it on third down. Now, if William was a coach, I'd agree. Okay. But William's not a coach, not in the CFL anyhow. And besides, I don't think he ever coached. It was Rick that does that. But decide the point, okay? They're not going to go for it on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, because they think just a second, Scott, I see your hand up. Okay. Because they're not going to do that. They're going to punt the ball. All this is going to do, instead of having more field goals, we're going to have more punts.
No, we're
and
not.
Punts are fucking boring.
No. Haven't you seen in the American game that they had more teams going for it on 4th down statistically? They're going for it.
Why?
Because it's closer to the end zone.
Hey, hold your thought. Scott, what do you got to say here? You got your hand up. I appreciate that.
You kind of stole my point, but the point of the whole thing is you got field goals that give you 3 points, and you got a punt that gives you no points. Teams are going to be punting when they're that far back because their players are going to be able to pinpoint you in the 5-yard line area. There won't be a chance for a return because that ball's going out of bounds. There's less chance for that 20-yard rule to apply, but there's no returns and there's no points.
So you're making a boring game.
Yeah. I don't want to see punts all game long.
They're going to punt the ball out of the sidelines at the 5-yard line, the 10-yard line. Anything inside of the 20 is not a penalty. So there'll be no kick returns. There'll be no punt returns. There's not going to be any missed field goal returns because the uprights are at the back of the fucking end zone. And if you miss the field goal, it's in the crowd.
Yeah, but what you're going to end up having with that type of scenario is you hold the other team deep in the end zone. If they do not get the ball out of that area with they've only got 3 downs.
I'm aware of 3 downs.
If they don't get it out of that area in 2, they're going to be punting, and it's going to give the other team better field position to go down and score.
Well, the field position will not change from what it currently is, because our teams start on the 1-yard line or the 2-yard line, depending on how your punt and kicks are. Okay, teams start inside of their 10 all the time, and if they don't get out, the quarterback's in the end zone.
Do you think it's going to apply?
And if
it's going to create more pressure.
He's punting the ball.
It's going to create more pressure on the offensive quarterback. If you got the ball on the 1-yard line and you've only got 2 downs, it's going to put more pressure on the offensive team to get the ball out.
More pressure than he already has. He's already starting there. He's already had to start there. Multiple times in a game, a quarterback has to start within his 10-yard line. Multiple. It's only going to be punts with no returns. Scott, you got your hand up again.
Yeah, I think the whole, like, with the aspect of the end zone shrinking, if you're punting from deep inside your end zone, good chance, unless you have a phenomenal kicker who can get it to the other side of the field, you're giving up 2 anyways. So that's not changing anything. But most punts are going to come to that midfield area or better, which that's not changing the size of the field anything.
But it's going to go on the other side of the center line because the field's fucking smaller. Let's play football on a postage stamp.
Oh God,
There's
no.
there's no way that this is going to improve the game. It's not.
How does it hurt it? How does it hurt it? By getting
Well,
rid
we've
of
just
10
eliminated
yards.
field goals for the most part. I'll bet you there's 50% less field goals and 50% more punts.
Wow, no more field goals? Damn.
Yeah, who
Well,
wants
they're
to
still
score points in a
punting,
game?
Will. They still have kickers.
Not in my offense.
No,
I mean,
but
Brett
you don't coach a team.
Brett
Okay.
Lauder's got a point, got it good now, though.
Telling you, if you're on the 25-yard line and it's still out, what did you say, Scott? It's a 40-yard field goal. Is that right? If you're on the 25-yard line?
Yeah, you're 15 yards in the end zone plus your 7 back.
It's a 47. It's a 47-yard field goal.
So is it going to be a 47-point now? No one's going to go for that.
If I'm on the
gonna go for it.
25-yard line, and I'm going to kick a 47-yard field goal, I'm going for it on third down. Sorry, because it's just as good as a punt.
No, it's not. You're
Yes,
25
it
yards
is.
further back.
Your point
You're
after?
not gonna. How many times this year, when the opposing team kicks a field goal, where do they put the ball at after the field goal?
But it's 25.
Where?
Isn't it? No, it's 35.
Thank you.
But they got.
I'm telling you, it's gonna. I think it's gonna increase touchdowns. Just my opinion.
Guess
And
we're
I
not
mean-
going to find out till
And
2027.
without going through all of these rules, the things that I think make the CFL are 3 things: the width of the field,
The waggle.
3 downs, and the waggle. And as long as you have them, the game doesn't change.
Until 2028.
Extra man.
Extra man.
Extra man.
That's the difference in this league,
It'll
and
be
that's why
interesting to
this
see how
league
many
is
of
so
those
exciting.
It'll be amazing to see how many of those change in 2028, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Why
What are the
would
next?
why
What are
would
the next
why do
series
you
of
believe
changes?
that, Scott? Why do you believe that they're going to get rid of the waggle? They're going to get rid of
No. They're gonna go to 4 downs.
No, they're
No,
not.
they're not.
Yeah,
Yes,
will.
they are, Michael.
Guaranteed.
No, they're not.
This is the first
That's
part
the
of
next
it.
thing gone. That's the next thing gone.
Nope.
If
You
they
guys
do that-
you guys, this is not realistic. The minute you do that,
Either
there will
was
be no
changing
CFL.
field and the field goal post. That wasn't realistic last year. If we had this conversation last year, everyone would be sitting there going, no.
If we had this
If it-
conversation, there's no fucking way anybody would have said, in your wildest dreams, would we have thought that they're going to move the goalposts? Not in your wildest dreams, you would have thought that.
If we did a poll, let's, for example, on the Rouge, if we did a poll on the Rouge,
It's because people don't understand it.
well,
That's being a little bit.
But when you say
No, it's not.
but when
You
you
don't
say
understand it.
when you say people don't understand it, okay? I bet you if you did a poll, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say half the people that go to CFL football games don't know how long the field is.
I don't know about that.
I do. I've talked to a lot of stupid people at football games. Okay, sorry.
I've
I've
You
told
talk
you
to a
this.
lot of stupid
I've
people
told
all
you
the
this
time. You're in
before.
Alberta.
And then the other question they have, well, wait a minute. He missed the field goal. How come he got a point?
Exactly. That's because
Okay.
they don't understand the rule.
Correct. And I
You're
don't
not
think a lot of
rewarding a
them,
missed field goal.
I don't think a lot of them understand
Yes,
rules,
you are.
period.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
Why? How do you say that?
You miss the field goal, kick it out the end zone, you get a point. That's a reward for missing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
How?
Because the task was to score the field goal.
What's the purpose in this game?
To win.
To win.
To score points.
To win.
Yeah.
To win.
Yeah.
Okay. And in 1870, in Canadian football, we had a scoring play where you kick the ball from anywhere in the field and it goes in the end zone, and it's a single point. You can kick it, you can punt it, or you can drop kick it. Okay.
Yes.
That rule is still in play today. All you have to do is get the ball into the end zone. It's a scoring play. 32 years later, Canadian football adapted the field goal. Okay. So the scoring play is to get the ball in the end zone. If you kick the ball in the end zone, you get a point. But if you kick the ball in the end zone through the uprights, you get 3 points. So if it doesn't go through the uprights, it's still a scoring play. You still got the ball in the end zone. You still scored 1 point. You're not rewarding a team for failing to hit a field goal. You're still scoring a point from a scoring play that predated the field goal.
Thanks
That's
for the history
what the Rouge
lesson.
is.
Thanks
That's
for the
the
history
Rouge.
lesson. That doesn't make. I've got no problem with kicking the ball into the end zone. It's staying in the end zone and you preventing the team from getting out of there. I do not like kicking it through the end zone for a point when you're trying for a field goal. Whether it was happened at the beginning of time on the stone tablets, I don't give a shit. I don't like it. And I'm glad they're taking it out of there. End of story. Right, wrong doesn't matter. I don't like it. It's my opinion. And there it is.
They scored a point. They kicked the ball in the end zone. Isn't that
No,
what
they
you're supposed
kicked
to
the
do?
ball.
So are we now going to have to, if your guy runs the ball into the end zone for a touchdown, can we pick him up and carry him back out and then the touchdown doesn't count?
That's not the rule.
Doesn't that make sense? Let's carry him out of the fucking end zone and then there's no touchdown.
That's a rugby rule.
So
it's not a
what's the
football
point?
rule.
What's the difference? You don't have to run the ball out of the, you don't have to get the ball out of the hockey net.
I just don't, Chris, I just don't like it. It's kicking it through the end zone, not in the end zone.
You're welcome to not like it.
Yeah, so I'm happy it's going.
They still accomplished their goal. They got the ball in the end zone. Nobody says it has to stay in the end zone.
Their goal is to kick the field goal when it's a field goal. If you wanted to just kick it straight in there for a single point, like from a punt or drop kick, I'm okay with that, but not on a field goal. You missed. You don't get a point.
What if they didn't even try to get a field goal? What if they just lined up in a field goal formation and kicked the ball out the back of the end zone? You don't like that?
Nope.
How
not
would
if they
you
lined
like
up
to
to kick
have
a field goal.
You have a national audience and it's a Grey Cup game. Do you really want to have the Grey Cup decided by somebody punting the ball out of the end zone?
Do I want the Grey Cup game decided by an actual scoring play? Yes, I do. And the Rouge is a scoring play.
Not coming up soon.
So it is. It's always going to be. It's there. The Rouge hasn't gone away.
So
it's just part of it.
So let me ask you this.
And I'm okay with it. If it's
you're okay with it. I'm not.
Well, and that's okay too, Chris.
So,
but I bet you the majority of the people are okay with it
because they don't understand the fucking rule.
No, they understand it.
No, they don't. They think it's a reward for missing a field goal, and it's not. It's a scoring play.
That's just an opinion that it's a reward for missing a field goal.
As soon as you admit that it is currently a scoring play and not a reward for a missed field goal, we'll find some common ground. But as long as you say it's a reward for a missed field goal, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, I do now because you gave me the history on it. So it is a scoring play, and I think it's a stupid scoring play.
Why is it called a rouge?
Doesn't matter why it's called a rouge.
No, it does matter. Why is it called a rouge?
I don't remember.
So were you
Does
upset?
anybody?
So were you upset when they put the field goal holes up there and added the 3-point play?
Yeah, I was. Actually, my granddaddy was, but that's beside the point.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
do you know why it's called a rouge, Mike?
No, I don't.
Actually, I think I told you, but that's beside the point. Scott, do you know?
Specifically, no.
Willie does, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't it because it's red?
No. Originally,
Yes.
here's your history lesson, Rick. Originally, when you kicked the ball into the end zone, the other team failed to run it back out. A point was removed from their score. And what was happening is at the end of some games, one team would have -2 points and the other team would have 7 or 11 points because they scored a touchdown or a field goal or whatever else. And one team was in the red. So you actually lost a point when you didn't remove the ball out of the end zone after a kick into it, a scoring play kick in, and you failed to run it back out, you lost a point. So your team went into the red. Like it's an accounting term. Just thought I'd share that with you, in case you didn't know where being in the red came from.
So the modern version of that is you give the other team a point instead of taking away their point.
Well, they changed it right
And
away
we still
because they
call it the
didn't want
rouge.
teams to end up with negative numbers. So when teams were finishing a game in the red with a negative number, they thought that was bad, so they gave the point to the other team, and that's how that worked. That's why it's called the rouge.
You know, the best argument.
Wonderful.
Here's the best argument for you, Christopher, is that basically what they're doing is they're eliminating the run back for people to run the ball back and score the other way, which is the most exciting play in football.
A missed field goal. Yes, they are. 100% we've lost the missed field goal return touchdown.
And that's
which
the
we
best
had the other day in that Ottawa game.
That's a better argument for you than what you've been arguing.
Well, of course it's an extension of the same argument. I just hadn't got there yet.
Okay.
Now I at the risk or I have to be
We're over time.
I have to completely say this. I won a provincial championship once by punting the ball through the end zone for a 1-point win in a deadlock game with no time left on the clock. So I have used the rule.
If it's a rule, use it.
It's not a rule.
100%. 100%. If it's a rule,
it's a
use
rule
it.
for another 2 years.
A year?
A year? Whatever. That doesn't mean that these rules are implemented yet.
100%. 100%. It's not a done deal till it's a done deal. So all of this hue and outcry could be for nothing.
We're not finished this discussion on the rules. No. And we're not even finished the rouge. But it's 2 hours and 15 minutes into the thing. We're probably about 2 hours of the show. We've recorded about 2 hours. I'm going to shut it down and we're going to, what's that?
2:03.
2:03. Well, we're going to shut her down and we're going to have to go at it again because why not? But we'll see what happens. Why not? Okay. This has been Let's Talk CFL podcast episode number 623. I'm your host, Christopher Jones. Yes, I'm an asshole. Yes, I'm loud and obnoxious, but I have that right because I'm cute. Anyhow, say goodnight, William.
Good night, Christopher. And do you realize your wife lied to you if she told you you were cute? Just putting it out there, man. Watch
You're
football
the one with the face for radio.
Watch football this weekend, guys. It'll be exciting games, especially that Edmonton Saskatchewan game.
Okay. Just because Scott's a newbie in here and I gotta do this for you, we're all saying goodnight. So you're not allowed to hit the big red button on the top that says leave until the cameras are all turned off. Okay. So you got to sit around and look polite and not do dumb things like Rick does. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Rick, say goodnight.
Good night, all. Everybody enjoyed the football this weekend. On a side note, everybody tune in Saturday morning for the women's Canadian rugby team playing in the World Cup final against England.
They're going to get
Or are
smoked.
they going to get kicked?
Nope, you're going to win.
Okay.
I hope they do, but I don't know. Do we have bigger dykes on this team than they'd have bigger dykes?
We have bigger ladies, yes. We
and
do.
Their teeth aren't as bad.
Yeah, their teeth aren't as bad. Michael, say goodnight.
Elk Nation, this is a big weekend for us. We're going to have half the stadium is going to be full, 30,000 people cheering on.
It's not a full stadium in Commonwealth. That's only half the stadium.
54,000, Mike.
It holds 60,000 people.
We're gonna kick some Saskatchewan ass this week.
Well, I hope you do. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Dare to dream, Mike. Dare to dream.
Wait, Michael, I'll give you a suggestion. Not that I want to interfere with your personal life or anything like this, but don't bet any money on this game, okay? Don't bet any money. Okay, Scott, your last. Say goodnight.
I will. Yeah, good night, everyone. I can't wait to watch the home game for the Riders on the weekend, and hopefully the Elks do lose. But it's been a fun time here, so thank you.
No, you can't hope a team loses. You can hope your team wins.
Okay, I hope we win.
Okay, I like that one. Okay, we're shutting her off. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Good night.